All right, I want to say Shalom, Kahalal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Makah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well, and peace and blessing to the Akim out there that's pushing this word with truth and sincerity, with a labor of love. Right, get a quick lesson, and it's a really nice little documentary for edification purposes, and it's called The Slavery Detective of the South. All right. It's on Vice, and the good thing about this documentary is it touches on a lot of different viewpoints on exactly what happened. All right, what happened to the slaves once supposedly the Emancipation Proclamation happened with uh, Lincoln. A lot of people know that Lincoln had a lot of terrible things to say about slavery. If you just Google that and look that up. Let's see, Lincoln's what did he say? Feelings. It's like, feelings on slavery. Let's see what it's talking about. Evolving thoughts. So it shows that certain things that he said here, 5 things you may not know about Lincoln and slavery. Let's see if they'll have some truth to that about how Lincoln really felt. Truth of the matter is that he felt. All right, here's one little thing here. Lincoln did believe that slavery was morally wrong, but there was one big problem: the highest law in the land. Look, there's some things that Lincoln really said that was the truth about. Here we go. Though Lincoln argued the founding fathers' phrase, all men are created equal, applied to blacks and whites alike, this did not mean he thought that they should have the same social and political rights. So, clearly he thought, as the way the Constitution saw so-called blacks as, was it 1/3 of a man? Was it 1/5 of a man? Slovakia. So less rights, than a dog, pretty much. Children, anyone had rights and value more than Israelites. All right, so-called blacks, definitely so-called Hispanics and Negroes. So this right here is speaking about a few things. Whenever that Lincoln he freed the slaves, things weren't just peachy keen. All right, and it goes back to the scriptures in Deuteronomy with the curses. All right, so we're gonna go into it a little bit. I want y'all brothers just to hear a little bit about what they have to say in this.
Closed a chapter on slavery in the American South, but that's far from the truth. For the next 100 years, generations of black Southerners were forced to labor against their will. This new form of slavery happened in the shadows of the first half of the 20th century. And even though the civil rights movement began advancing racial equality in the South in the 1950s, these practices continued secretly, making it a difficult history to prove. Today, there's one woman who's dedicated her life to finding this lost history of black identity. She's been called the slavery detective of the South.
So it keeps on going. I'll fast forward through it, and how she got started as far as
Let me first tell you how I got started with this. Researching my own
how important this was to her.
family was held as slaves. Well, in 1863, my family was emancipated, and my family did become sharecroppers. Farmer of Rail became a sharecropper under the system of sharecropping. The planter and the newly freed slaves came into agreement. I would furnish you with the seeds, with the land, and place to stay.
So there was agreements and things made, okay, with Esau, all right, because they were panicking, all right. They were panicking as far as what to do now, but they figured it out. They had a plan, all right, and the plan ultimately was to to be able to tax, these new slaves, and to incarcerate them also, where there could be, money made, again, free labor. You know, your rights or slavery is accepted when it comes to being committed of a crime. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. Everybody's familiar with a lot of this. But it says here, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Goes verse 16, curse shall thou be in the city, curse shall thou be in the field, curse shall thou be in that basket, and that store, that wallet, so we go through a lot of these during camps, during lessons, and never has it been in the history of the world has prophecies fit anyone but the Israelites, with the so-called Native American, Hispanic, and Negro. All right, period. So these people, this lady, the slavery detective, she's going further, and she's finding out ways to go down further. But the thing about this is just unbelievable. It goes deep into it, that slavery existed after so-called um, uh, the so-called Emancipation Proclamation. All right. So this right here is a man, Juneteenth.com. I just went to his website, and just so happened to be, I'm going to celebrate that. But on my birthday, the day that they said came into the world, truly is my birthday. So that's beyond the point. But the whole thing is that every year around that time, okay, they celebrate what's called Juneteenth, and it goes down as a story as this man, I call him Triple G, all right, Major General Gordon Granger, and a long story short, he was able to tell slaves, or proclaim to slaves, and also their owners, or the people that were literally still incarcerating them, all right, because that's what it was. You can't leave. All right, you're stuck in a situation. So people were shocked. You know what I mean? And they was like, well, what happened? How could this happen? And there was lots of things that said, well, hey, maybe the person delivering the news got killed, or was murdered, or that it was deliberately withheld, the situation, because the labor forces wanted the last cotton crops to come in. Either way, all right, it was something that had been kept from the people, all right, which made it a huge clusterfuck. You know what I'm saying? For these landowners, these so-called slave owners, all right? Because now they're like, what do we do? Now these people, and some of the things what they were saying is that the first things that they wanted to do was that they wanted to leave. All right, they wanted to get out of Dodge. First things that they was feeling like I need to go to work, and maybe I don't know nobody, and maybe I'm in the middle of nowhere, but at least it's not with you. All right. So it goes on. This little article at Juneteenth.com goes on to speak about the news and jubilation that they had, and but also the pain that they had. Imagine now you're freed, okay, and you're saying, okay, no money, no clothes, no food on your journey. You don't know anyone, okay, and you're released now to go walk the United States, or go walk the town, or the state you're in. You won't know your ass from your elbow. No education, no government, anything made for you. All right. These are the curses that happen to over 100 million so-called Negroes. All right. So it goes further into it, and right here they start going to a family. They keep on speaking. I'll put it on.
Well, not everyone did the right thing. Although sharecropping was technically legal, the practice was widely abused by white landowners who used debts to keep African Americans tied to the land that they once worked as slaves. Sharecroppers didn't pay rent, but they didn't own any property. And today, historians agree, sharecropping was just slavery by a different name.
So many enslaved Africans had nothing, no choice. They didn't have you owe me no matter